Hi everybody and welcome to my channel, Red Queen Tarot. Today we're doing a pick a card reading for the full moon lunar eclipse happening November 8th, 2022. I'm going to begin this reading with some basic sidereal astrology placements. If that's something that's not of interest to you, go ahead and check out the timestamps below for your selected pile, and I'll see you in your reading. Otherwise, I'm just going to get started by saying that the effects of an eclipse are not immediately observable. So whatever message you receive here today doesn't mean it's going to happen on the day of the eclipse. These things can take up to 6 months to unfold. They establish a pattern for the several next few months to come. So generally, eclipses occur every 6 months. Lunar eclipses give us an opportunity to release old energy to bring in changes in our mental process, the way we think, act, and feel. The moon is a planet of emotions. The moon governs our mind. These are excellent opportunities to release old energy and welcome new energy. Unlike other full moons, this one is made an eclipse because of the moon's proximity to the lunar node, in this case the north node. The north node represents the direction we are headed. The south node is where we are to tread no more. So the south node is at 19 degrees of Libra, and Libra is the 7th house of partnerships. I'll use my crude little map here. All right, there we are. So the north node, this is the south node here. The north node is at 19 degrees Aries, and that is the first house. And first house astrology in Aries has to deal with the self, the ego, the identity. Aries rules the body part of the head, which is a representative of a new start, leadership. Aries births a new celestial year at the vernal equinox. When we're born, we come out head first. Rebirth and regeneration of self on a personal level could be a theme of this eclipse. On a global level, we could see leadership changes, like heads of state, or heads will roll metaphorically, not always realistically, but this eclipse is happening during a USA midterm election, where we could see change of power. Now, Vedic astrology is lunar, Western astrology is solar. So in Vedic astrology, the zodiac wheel is divided into 27 nakshatras, or star constellations. This is because the moon travels approximately 27.3 days around its orbit. Each nakshatra has its own ruling deity and powers. So the moon will be in Bharani nakshatra in the sign of Aries, right here, at 22 degrees, or 21 degrees 50 minutes to be precise. So the sun is also at 22 degrees of Libra. And the moon here is conjunct Uranus, the planet of the unexpected, sudden change. And across from that, we have Venus and Mercury also involved in this eclipse. Venus is the ruler of Libra. There's strong feminine energy here, which is why I've focused on these 3 goddess guidance cards for our primary selection here to begin the reading. But there's also the Bharani nakshatra. This 27th of a wheel is represented by Venus energy as well, because of its symbolism is the female reproductive system, or the yoni, which gives birth again. So Bharani is an extremely hot star containing a tremendous amount of fire energy. It does sit in the constellation of Aries, which is a fire sign. In Vedic tradition, there are several qualities of the fire placement, and Bharani is the sacred quality that is initially present when fire is first ignited, like a spark. Those born under the star have potential to rule due to their fire-burning energy. Bharani is extreme in nature, exploring any direction it chooses, either puritanical or sinful. Therefore, those born under this star oscillate between opposite ends of the spectrum. Bharani is the foundation of Venusian energy among the nakshatras, giving it tremendous occult knowledge. The main symbol of this star is the yoni, or female sexual organs, which signify creativity, sexuality, and the cycle of birth and death. Just like a womb, Bharani nakshatra is a sacred place of nurturing and growth with its power to quickly manifest. Bharani natives have a strong character and can withstand the transformations of life. Their naive exuberance enables them to learn and gather information, but it may distract them from finishing what they begin. This nakshatra is one of the most enthusiastic and eager, yet challenging to understand. So Bharani's ruling deity in Hindu mythology is Yama, the god of death and regeneration, it also relates to what Western astrologers are calling right now Scorpio season, and they're saying this eclipse is happening in Taurus and Scorpio. So that's all about death endings, transformation, and change, because it's ruled by Pluto, god of the underworld. Okay, so the ruling planet, though, of Bharani Nakshatra is Venus, the divine feminine. Venus is conjunct the sun for this lunar eclipse on the opposite side, so we have feminine energy on both ends. The color of the nakshatra is blood red. This makes me think of menstruation, releasing old blood and bloodshed to make room for new. Also, we are born from the womb in blood, release the old and give birth to something new. It's the end of a cycle. As mentioned above, the womb is a place of growth. Now, what I found was interesting is that we had a partial solar eclipse in the same nakshatra at 16 degrees Aries. That happened April 30th earlier this year. So about 6 months ago, a little more than 6 months, 7 almost. As a new moon, we could have, as that new moon, we could have signaled the beginning of a birthing process, and this lunar eclipse could indicate the final push, because birth comes in stages. It's not just one quick push and it's over. So the sign of Aries is associated with the color red and the planet Mars and the god of war. I was wondering if there could be bloodshed over the next several months, or as I mentioned above, that heads may roll as power changes hands, not always literally, but metaphorically. And the US media has been pushing this phrase, a red wave is coming, in reference to a Republican Party taking over dominance in the political system, which again I think is alluding to a red wave or a menstrual flow almost. So the element of Bharani is earth, which is also feminine. Direction is east, the dawning of a new day. The animal associated with it is a male elephant, and the bird associated with it is the crow. So we could quite literally be giving birth to a future. So check your chart and find where 22 degrees Aries is in sidereal astrology, in your sidereal chart. What house is this occurring in for you? If you checked out the monthly readings, I went over in detail what house it would be occurring in depending on your rising sign. So check that out if you feel drawn to do so. And the fact that the sun and the moon are both at 22 degrees here, to me, 22 is a master builder number, master destroyer. And full moon lunar eclipses are a big energy release point. So to me, it seems that the next 6 months will be a time of tearing down, deconstruction, before we are to rebuild and give birth to that new vision that we have. Okay, so reading more about the Yama, the god of death, who comes to collect the souls at the end of life. To me, that sounds like Saturn with his sickle to me. For this reason, Bharani's Shakti is the power to carry things away. The solar eclipse is one that can bring endings of different types, and in some cases death. This is a good time to get rid of things that are no longer useful to make room for new beginnings that follow. Yama is the lord of Dharma in Hindu mythology. Dharma is how you fulfill your soul through daily activities, your life's purpose. So this eclipse will raise awareness regarding injustice. It is, on a personal level, this is a good time to try and make an effort to align yourself with Dharma, truth, and virtue. It is also a good time to clean out your closets and drawers. If you have bigger issues, condition a person in your life that needs to go, this is a good time to cut through the inertia and sever the cord. Okay, the effects of this eclipse could be complicated, influenced, or amplified by the planets with which the sun and moon are conjunct. I mentioned that there's a lot of energy involved here. So the moon is with the north node and Uranus over here in Aries. And Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, which is 11th house astrology. So both are associated with principles of genius, individuality, uniqueness, new unconventional ideas, discoveries, electricity, technology, and innovation. Uranus governs societies, clubs, and any group dedicated to humanitarian or progressive ideas. Uranus is the planet of sudden and unexpected changes, rules freedom and originality. In society, it rules radical ideas and people, as well as revolutionary events that upset established structures. And this is occurring the day of a U.S. midterm election, while the U.S. is in the midst of its Pluto return. And that began on February 22nd, 2022. And there was a retrograde of Pluto, and then Pluto's going to go forward again, and it'll touch that return point for the last time, December 30th, 2022, before it's moving forward completely, where Pluto will not revisit that degree in the zodiac for another 247 plus years. As I mentioned, Pluto, being the ruler of Scorpio, is the god of death and transformation, and therefore brings about significant changes. With the North Node being the direction we're headed, conjunct Uranus, it prepares us to move forward to the future, which is technology. So the sun is with Mercury, Venus in the south node at 22 degrees Libra. Brought this up in the monthly readings about the Master Builder, Master Destroyer. And Venus is what we value, shining a light onto the moon, which is showing up and as our intended direction is technology in the future. So moving on to the fixed star associated with this eclipse. So in sidereal astrology, I mentioned it operates on a backdrop of fixed stars. Those fixed stars only move 1 degree every 72 years. So it could be adjusting more for the movement of the stars than Western astrology, which is about 23 degrees off from sidereal. So the fixed star associated with this eclipse is Baton Catos, which sits at the middle of the whale or sea monster constellation of Cetus, the belly of the whale. This is, of course, associated with the Jonah legend. It often marks where someone becomes stuck with a situation for some little while, but should emerge with some benefit to count for the experience. The constellation of Cetus the whale is like Saturn. It is said to cause laziness and idleness, but to confer an emotional and charitable nature with the ability to command, especially in war. Makes an amiable, prudent, happy by sea and land, and helps to recover lost goods. In astrology, Baton Catos is a warlike star that warns falls and blows and other misfortune brought about by force. We know the war narrative has been ramping up. Let's not forget that Mars went retrograde on October 30th, which could indicate an increase in violence because Mars is the god of war, and whenever a planet slows down and goes retrograde, it gains strength. And Mars is also the ruler of the sign of Aries, where this eclipse is taking place. So could a country experience a fall of power, or a leader experience a fall from power? Blows to the head because of its position in Aries rules the head. And coincidentally, President JB is known for his many falls, going upstairs on Air Force One or falling off a stopped bicycle at a crosswalk, for example. Anyway, the star is the nature of Saturn, disgrace, ruin, and calamity. It gives compulsory transportation, changes or emigration, misfortune by force or accident, shipwreck, but also rescue, falls and blows. Could these falls be referring to the financial markets over the next 6 months as well? I'm not sure. When the moon is conjunct this fixed star, it means lean and infirm, many miseries. There's already been news of food shortages, which could imply the coming leanness. Infirmity means sick or unwell. So if the next 6 months could be for the collective, since disease has been a constant headlight for the last 3 years, it might be rough. Let me skip. The other major astrological transit occurring during this eclipse is, of course, the square to Saturn. Oh, I forgot to put that in my chart, y'all. Anyway, Saturn's up here in Capricorn. And what you call a square in astrology is it makes a 90-degree angle. So it goes up here and does that. So it's like a big triangle on this half of the zodiac. But 90-degree angles, oppositions, which are 180 degrees, create tension. So it could bring squares and oppositions bring tension to a breaking point. It could bring problems to the surface. Expect the unexpected. Saturn, especially with Uranus there. Saturn is constriction, tradition, and the past. Uranus is rebellion and breaking free, the future. There are tensions between two sides. So I feel like I have this image of April 30th, the partial solar eclipse, being like loading a slingshot with a stone. The past 6 months have been like pulling that stone back, stretching the cord, adding more and more tension, building to this T-square with Saturn. It almost looks like, if you're pulling a ball that way, you're creating this tension between the strings, and it's just going to be snap and let go and go forward. Libra and Aries are cardinal signs along with Cancer and Capricorn. So cardinal means, cardinal cross here. They begin new seasons. We start spring here. We start summer in Cancer. We start fall in Libra and winter in Capricorn there. So new beginnings and new directions. A lunar eclipse passing through a fire sign, which is Aries here, indicates heat waves, fire accidents, volcano eruptions under sea, impacts of war, political instability. Share market will remain volatile, and many speculators can lose money. Gold and silver prices increase. Accidents and mishaps can occur in tourist places. East and Northeast Indian states, China could be hit by an earthquake. Okay. So that's all the astrology there. Next, we're going to move on to the symbolism. So, like I mentioned in my last reading, that there is a tarot card associated, a minor arcana tarot card associated with every 10 degrees of the zodiac wheel. So, the 10 degrees between Aries 20 and Aries 30, that's the third decan, that is ruled by the Four of Wands, which is this card right here. Now, the Four of Wands is representative of Venus and Aries. Venus is very present in this, if you haven't already figured it out. A foundation of love and desire and passion, creating an environment to your liking in a direct and forceful way. The Four of Wands is also, okay, one of my other mentors, I urge you to go check out his channel. His name is Hood Mystic. He illuminated me to the relevance of sidereal astrology. He's got a great website, great channel, and he's just an amazing spiritual teacher. But anyway, I learned from his reading about the eclipses that this card is actually female genitalia, and I never saw it that way. I always heard about it. It's a gateway of manifestation, but here you have the labia on both sides, pubic hair, clitoris, and this is your portal. This is the combining of two forces to give birth to something coming through this gateway. Okay, because this is how we all got here. Anyway, so there's also a Sabian symbol associated with 22 degrees Aries, and as I mentioned in my new moon reading, the Sabian symbols were channeled by a psychic medium back in 1925, I believe. One symbol for every degree of the zodiac. So this one is actually called a gate to the garden of all fulfilled desires. Now, doesn't this look like a gate? And there's flowers, like fruit bearing here. That's like a garden hanging from these portals, okay? This is an eclipse as a gateway. It's a portal manifestation. All full moons and new moons are portals. So a keynote here is a symbol that the abundance is made possible by human togetherness and cooperation. Alone, a human being can barely survive in nature's great life drama. In organized groups, men can in due time fulfill their desires. The abundant life is in theory open to all. At least this is the ideal, the great dream. This symbol can also be given an erotic meaning referring to womanhood, obviously, as I already illustrated. So it does have to do with manifesting your desires with passion, focus, determination, creating an environment to your liking in a direct and forceful way. You're applying the energy of Aries, Mars. This is Venus in Aries, is this card. Okay, so that does it for the introduction, and we're going to go ahead and get started with the piles. All right, pile number 1, starting with you. Okay. You chose this Shungite moon. Used to be a necklace, obviously. But anyway, okay. Let's look at your goddess guidance card for this eclipse. Mother Mary, expect a miracle. Okay, so we were talking about mother energy, birthing, the womb. And here we have the Madonna with child. Have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. So maybe that's what you're receiving this lunar eclipse. You're getting messages, confirmation, signs, and symbols that your prayers are being answered. I'm going to read from the book here. Have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. Faith is the light that illuminates your pathway. Without faith, the future looks very frightening. That's why it's essential for you to take whatever steps are necessary to keep your mind and heart filled with faith. Please don't give up on yourself or other people. Keep the candle of faith burning within your soul, as that one small inkling of hope can eradicate the darkness of despair. Be the light that emanates someone else's gloomy hopelessness as well. For as you make others stronger, it strengthens not only yourself, but the entire world. Various meanings of this card. Let go of worrisome thoughts. Keep your thoughts positive. Notice and follow any divine guidance you may receive. Pray. Engage in spiritual healing. About Mother Mary. She's the beloved mother of Christ, who is known as the Queen of the Angels. For her ongoing and miraculous healing work, Mary works closely with anyone who is a child advocate, teacher, or healer. She loves children and is devoted to making the world a safe and happy place for them. If you'd like to help children, ask Mother Mary for a divine assignment. Okay, so some of you might find yourself being called to work in that area, or if you are a mother, your blessings could be showing up in that area of life for you in regards to your children. Or you could be working on fostering a better relationship with your own mother or the mother within yourself. If you're female, you could be called to do some healing, feminine healing for yourself, womb healing or meditation. Next to that, our Queen of the Moon Oracle card is Surrender. Okay, this is a very feminine energy as well. That's, masculine is action, feminine is surrendering and waiting to receive. So let's go ahead and read about that. Number 26. Surrendering doesn't mean giving up. Let go of what you no longer need. Stop being so stubborn about holding on to aspects and behaviors that don't align with who you are now. Stop struggling. I let go. I surrender my struggle. I allow the universe to work through me. It took me a long time to realize that surrendering was a positive thing. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't mean giving up a kind of a surrender. I mean, it's okay. It's time for me to hand this over type of surrender. So maybe you are giving it over to God. Give it up to God and, expect a miracle. For those of us who are highly independent and used to doing things quite ably on our own, admitting we need assistance or what we might indeed have to let something go for our betterment can be challenging. Letting go and surrendering admits or exposes a vulnerability or two. To surrender, we may need to show our underbelly. We may need to admit we got it wrong, we made a mistake, grew a bad habit, surrounded ourselves with people that are not good for us. It can make us feel raw in our realization. Remember, this moon phase is dark and beautiful. It casts a protective shadow that allows us to be wide open as we need to be to do our work. We reveal safely to only the divine in ourselves, and then the light returns. The companion stone or metal is orange calcite. And I have a piece for you right here. Some orange calcite. All right. It's the same color as his robe. That's cool. All right. Next we have your Mystical Wisdom Oracle. Go with the flow. Let things happen. All right. So this is encouraging you to be very passive this month. I wouldn't put up a fight. Let the chips fall where they may. Ride the wave rather than being tumbled by it. Magic of the universe knows what you desire and wants to deliver the best outcome for you, so let go, step aside, and accept help from others. Sometimes people become used to resistance and struggle. Everyone accepts this as part of life, how life is supposed to be. When you relax, go with the flow, and let go of the situation, you will see how amazing the results will be. It will be more favorable than you anticipated. The mantra is, I accept help from others. Yeah, really open yourself up to receiving a miracle at this time. It's coming for you, so you have to be prepared. Just let go. Release any resistance to receiving. All right. And finally, your archetype card. Ooh, the prayer. Number 65. Miracle, prayer, surrender. Go with the flow. Okay, let's see what the prayer has for us. Somebody, pile one, you have a lot of strong faith, or this is encouraging you to tap into that. If you think something's not possible or that it's never going to be resolved, this is giving you an opportunity to open yourself up to receive a miracle. Okay, the prayer is the worship, the reverence, the homage. What is prayer? When we are in a state of prayer and when we are not. To whom or what do we pray? Archetypally, the practice of prayer has been with us since the dawn of time as a remedy for the omnipresent, self-centered thinking that spins us toward illusion. Prayer leads us beyond our ego as we move from our little story to the big one. Some say we are in a state of prayer any time we are not the center of our own thoughts. Others say prayer is a natural result of gratitude. Perhaps it is simply surrender or service. Whatever prayer is for you. This card reminds us of its importance. Get quiet, low, humble, and soft. Bow and touch the ground as your heart lifts to the sky. Though it may be uncomfortable, it is time. Nothing else will do. Experiment with the act of bowing down. Nearly all spiritual traditions make a practice of prostration. Every song, kiss, breath, word can become a prayer. It is a feeling, not an action. Consider the ancient mantra, I bow to the creative consciousness within. I bow to the teacher within. Offering to be of service, asking for guidance. All right, so those are your oracle cards. Pile 1. We're going to take a look at some tarot to get some clarity, see if there's more specific message for you at this time. Message for pile 1. That's good. First card, 3 of Flames. This is the Sun in Aries. Second card, 10 of Cups. That's wishes come true, ultimate emotional fulfillment, satisfaction. The end of a cycle. The waiting is over. And the 3 of Wands, 3 of Flames is typically your ships are coming in. Your prayers are being answered. 3 of Crystals. 3 of Coins. Physical manifestation showing up. 3, 10, 3. I don't know about you all, but I've been seeing the number 313 a lot lately. That's the 65th prime number. It's totally random, but I don't know why it's showing up. But if you've been seeing 31, 13, those numbers, it could be signs or confirmations from your angels, your guides, that to keep the faith that your prayers are coming. Obviously, there's physical manifestation here in the 3 of Coins. 10 of Cups is wish fulfillment to its to capacity. All right. Take a look at your Making Magic cards. Okay, Making Magic cards for pile 1. Perseverance, the motivation to keep going despite the odds. So yeah, again, just because things aren't showing up immediately doesn't mean that you give up. Second, Labyrinth, transition to a higher level of being, raising your energetic vibration and environment. One more, please. Triple Spiral, listening to divine wisdom and joyfully learning life's lessons. Yeah, it kind of is going with the flow too. But this Labyrinth, speaks of ascension. Maybe there's something that you're being asked to give up, some earthly vice or habit or routine that's kept you at a lower vibration, certain people in your life, or just even excess material goods that you have laying around. The things you own end up owning you. So maybe now's a good time to sort through that and see what's going to help you become lighter and more liquid, as it were, to go with the flow. You can't really run with the current if you're weighed down or sinking to the bottom. Okay, I don't know if there's anything else that I should pull for you. All right, 3 more cards. I'll use the Lenormand deck here. The triple spiral also makes me think of, it's past, present, future, mother, maiden, crone, the 3 phases of the moon. So there's a time and place for everything in divine timing. You can't rush the miracle. I don't know if you ever saw the movie The Princess Bride. There's a part where he goes to see Miracle Max, the healer. He says, you can't rush miracles, otherwise you get a crappy miracle. Anyway, side note. Let's see. Next. Little clarifiers here. Okay, the birds call. Again, it might be a call from heaven. Your guides, your angels, symbols that you might be finding feathers on the ground showing you that you're on the right path and your blessings are coming. Your call's been heard. Your prayers have been heard. And they will be responded to. Next to that, we have, this is the institution card. So it looks like a castle. It's like it could be a church, a school, business, some organization, and the sun. Right. So the light, obviously coming through. Could be Leo energy. But just going to read about number 19 real quick. Because it's funny, in the traditional tarot, the 19 card is the sun. But this is actually called the Tower. That's right. I couldn't remember the name of it. But corporation, organization, institution, and governments come under my influence. I am boundaries and restrictions, so be mindful of isolation. I describe your ambition as well as your expectations, and let's not forget your higher education. Unlike the tower in the tarot, the Lenormand Tower is symbolic of a structure that offers protection and security. In the Game of Hope, it is a watchtower built on high ground for surveillance over the countryside beyond. In current times, it may relate to border control or control of passages to a city. As such, they have multiple meanings, ranging from authority and education to places of power and legal dealings. The tower then is a seat of power and often means bureaucracy. When combined with the letter is dreaded form to be completed, even worse when it's accompanied by a snake. Read the small print of insurance policy. Well, those don't apply here. In some books, it can be symbolic of a place of isolation, such as hermitage. It then carries occult meaning, and the remote tower of the reverie also has this connotation. It is sometimes within oneself that watch needs turning. The watch needs turning. So to me, this, when it says the watch needs turning, I automatically think of Chronos, Saturn, Father Time, and mention you can't rush things. It has to come in a certain order. So things are maybe not ready to be revealed right away, but it's urging you to stay in this open and receptive state. Stay aware, but and open to receiving more messages, and eventually your blessing will come. I mean, hold that vision in your mind of what it is you're calling in to receive. Because the sun here is telling you, and the 10 of Cups here is telling you, as well as the 3 of Wands, it's coming. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed this reading, pile 1. Apologies for the interruptions or my voice. I've been getting over some illness lately, so please hang in there with me, and hopefully we'll see you at the next reading. Take care. Thank you. Now we're going to move to pile 2. Hi, pile 2, and welcome to your selected reading. You chose the orange agate star here. I'm going to apologize in advance for my voice since I've been overcoming a sickness. So we're going to start here with your Goddess Guidance card. Arakura, blossoming. You are just getting started, so have patience with yourself in the process and do not give up. In many ways, you are like a flower bud who is ripe and ready to open and grow. Don't try to rush this process as it's part of your beautiful path. Enjoy learning new knowledge and skills. Take your time to gather new ideas. Nurture your body with plenty of fresh air, sunshine, water, and healthful foods. Soon enough, you'll get the unmistakable signal that it's time to put your learning into action. Spend time among flowers, or work with flower essences and oils to support your growth process. Slow down, have patience, get involved with gardening, use aromatherapy or flower essence, and keep the faith. Arakira is a Celtic and Germanic goddess who multitasks as an Earth Mother deity, a fairy queen, and also a bridge between earthly life and the hereafter. She helps us put our goals and challenges into perspective so that we don't needlessly stress ourselves. Call upon her for emergency money or help in manifesting supply. She's especially fond of assisting artists and inventors. Okay, welcome if we have some artists in the audience here. Next, we have your Queen of the Moon Oracle. Power, the full moon. Yes. Number 16. Okay. Now, 16 in the major arcana of tarot is the Tower, which signifies a shift or a change. But let's see what our deck here says. Step into your true power, shine brightly. Do not hide who and what you are. The time is right to attract big things for yourself. Ancestral energy is important. Open your mind to larger possibilities. Big magic can be wrought. I have power. It is real. Go outside on a clear night and look up. Hopefully you'll see the stars twinkling. If you're really lucky, you might see the swirling Milky Way spilling across the darkness. And then there it is, the big full moon, unmistakably in her glory and power. She moves the earth itself, stabilizes it into orbit. She releases and pulls the seas. She is the object of devotion, the inspiration of poems, the realm of goddesses, and she has witnessed the very first of us rise up on two legs and venerate her. Generation after generation, we have stood barefoot under the same moon, wishing, setting intentions, dancing, and drawing her graceful power. You are made of the very swirling matter that is the stuff of stars. You are pure possibility, changing constantly, renewing and transforming. Take this moment to recognize the power and rejoice in it, for your next step is the precursor to your future self. The companion stone or metal is moonstone, obviously. All right, fantastic. So some of you are feeling the force of this full moon, feeling like, again, you're blossoming. They both kind of have similar body language here. This looks like a flower too, doesn't it? You're glowing up. You're blossoming. So yeah, you're really radiating that powerful energy this month. Next to that, we have 7 heavenly virtues, the keys to goodness. This is your mystical wisdom oracle. You represent spiritual enlightenment, divine knowledge, and wisdom. You have faith and believe in all that is good and meaningful. You have a deep intuitive understanding of God, the angels, and the universal spirit. You know the keys to goodness. You are being asked to use this knowledge to empower and teach others. Here they use the word empower, and it's next to the card power. So your voice has a lot of influence. Your presence, people pay attention when you speak. So some of you could be branding yourself or promoting yourself, your business, whatever it is that's increasing in power is going to reach far and wide. You have the power to influence a vast number of people. So the 7 heavenly virtues mean there's faith, hope, charity, fortitude, justice, patience, and temperance. Faith is belief and trust in the right things. Hope is belief that good will prevail. Charity is unlimited loving kindness towards others. Fortitude, never giving up. Justice, being fair and equitable towards others. Patience, accepting the grace to forgive. And temperance is practicing self-control and moderation. So these could be things, again, to share with the world. And you do that by embodying those virtues yourself for all the world to see. They look at you as a role model. Or you're being asked to step into your power as a role model, an influencer, a teacher. And finally your archetype card, we have number 64, the offering. This came up in the monthly readings. I can't remember which sign right now, but if it came up for you in that, this is just confirmation. Let's find up. All right, the gift, the present, the sacrifice. Unlike many of the other cards in the deck, the offering carries a clear as day message and a call to action. As you may have guessed, it's time for something to be given and given up for the sake of the bigger picture. If nothing comes to mind immediately, though it's likely it will, take time in meditation to consider what it must be offered and who is to receive it. It's likely you'll feel attachment and hesitancy. You'll make excuses, but recognize the link between the word sacrifice and the word sacred. One leads to the other. When we offer up something to the greater good, we lighten our load and become more able to serve. Imagine for a moment if you were to offer your whole self unconditionally to the world. For now, start small. Generosity, donation, and volunteering. If there's a gift you've been thinking of giving someone special, now is the time. Once a week, Gandhi gave up speaking for a day, offering himself to divine silence. The offering can come in all shapes and sizes. Okay, so this, I think, is speaking of you offering your gifts to the world. At the beginning of this reading, I was talking about how eclipses are a good time to release, to give things up. So if there is, again, something that you've been meaning to get rid of, certain people or habits or objects in your life that no longer serve you, they can serve somebody else. By all means, you can release them at this time and make space for better things to come in, better tools that you can use, or better connections that you can benefit from, new lessons to be learned from new people. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at your tarot to get some more detail about this blossoming power that you're experiencing. Embodying a lot of positivity, a lot of radiance at this full moon. Might attract a lot of attention. People might flock to you for guidance, wisdom. They might be offering you something too. You might receive an offering. Okay. One more. There we go. All right, underneath the deck, we have the Six of Wands. Victory, success, fulfillment. All right, after a period of struggle. And we have guidance. Okay. Number 5, this is the Hierophant card. Some of you are becoming very powerful spiritual teachers. Either that or you're coming into the presence of one. You may be offering your allegiance to a certain path or person or lifestyle. But this is a very strong spiritual teacher. We have the 5 of crystals, 5 of coins. All right, this kind of does speak of the offering. This is usually a card of lack, but it's like you're giving up something. You could be giving up lack. You could be, not for everybody, but a vow of poverty. You know, it's like you're really giving up things that you used to identify with. The material is falling away. And there's 2 5s, 5 5. That's usually indicative of change. And then we have the 9 of crystals. Okay, so you're definitely sacrificing something in order to receive something better. That's the guidance here. Give up old habits, old people, old patterns that may have been siphoning your power, keeping you small, keeping you from blossoming or growing. Somebody has like stifled your growth process. And for some of you, this is, you're better off alone. You're going to be more fulfilled. Maybe there's just something people were taking from you, or a group of friends, an intimate partner that was not serving your highest purpose. And there's so much more waiting for you if you have the courage to let go and offer it up to Spirit to take it away. And the 6 of Wands underneath the deck assures a happy victory for yourself. Overcoming any fear or doubt of lack in the process. It's like if you're on a trapeze, you see them releasing from one trapeze and having complete faith that their partner on the other end is going to catch them. But that's the reward, is having faith to let go in order to be caught on the other side. Okay, just get some Lenormand cards to clarify. 2. Okay. Oh, the sun. It came up for pile 1 too. It's all going to be okay. Whatever it is. It's have faith. The light is coming through for you. And then we have the sun and the full moon pictured here. It's extra confirmation of this time frame. Next. Flowers. Okay. It could be part of the gift. Like I said, somebody could be sending you flowers. You could be giving somebody else flowers. Sending a message of gratitude and love. You could be receiving an apology. Someone could offer you an apology. And then we have the Tree of Life. This always makes me think of like the 10 of Cups card because of the rainbow there. And that there's 10 Sephiroth on the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. But it's fulfillment, nurturing, flourishing, blossoming. It goes along with this theme of the Arakura. There's a lot of fruitful energy here. And the Tree of Life, it has to deal with manifestation from from top to bottom, because you're bringing energy down like lightning from heaven through the Sephiroth, through the path to Malkuth, which is earth. And it's become grounded in reality. It's like pay attention to where you're planting your energy, to where you're putting your seeds. That's going to determine the yield of your crop. Okay, so we're going to do some Making Magic cards for pile 2. Messages. Okay, Goddess, healing feminine energy. All right, that goes very much in line with this eclipse that we're talking about, the power of Venus on both ends. We also have insight, opens a third eye to strengthen intuition, another feminine quality. That's like knowing here. This is the Hierophant card, that spiritual teacher. That's Taurus energy, though, too. You could be getting advice or insight from a trusted friend or advisor. It's going to help you see through, navigate whatever situation you're in. And also trusting your own feminine intuition and insight. And next we have protection. Strong protective magic for the family and the home. Okay. So there's no fear to be had here. And underneath the deck we have on target, follow your ideal life path. You're on track. This is confirmation. Okay. All right, pile 2. I really hope you enjoyed this reading. Again, thanks for your patience with my voice. And if you felt drawn to another pile, feel free to select it at this time. And take care. We'll see you at the next reading. Bye. All right, welcome pile number 3. We have the eye that you chose. See what your goddess guidance card is. Damara, guiding children. You are good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. Again, this may not be referring to just young humans. It could refer to your own inner child. You could be healing, guiding, and teaching that child within you. Or even just the next generation of people. Could be young adults. Children of the universe, people that are living in ignorance, because what are children but those that lack knowledge? Let's go ahead and take a look at the book, though. One can be gentle and a fierce protector simultaneously. My vigilant focus on keeping harmony within households stems from my desire for children to maintain their youthful awe and sense of wonder. How else will we ensure that we'll see and speak with the fairies? How else will we foster the continuation of children's healing laughter? Join with me in guiding the children, and you'll see our own imagination sparked by these amazing young beings. Your own enthusiasm and youthful spirit attracts the children's respect and attention. I'll lead you toward young people who can benefit from your help. Spend time with or have a heart-to-heart talk with your own children. Get into a career involving helping kids. Volunteer with young people. Know that children will be coming into your life soon. You will be a parent. Take care of your own inner child through play and laughter. About Damara, a Celtic fertility goddess whose name means gentle. Damara helps to bring peace and harmony to families and within households. She helps children maintain their youthful innocence and faith. Damara is happy to guide you with respect to the best way to help children, yours or someone else's. Next, our Queen of the Moon Oracle. We have Balance, Number 19. Seek balance. Extremes of anything are rarely healthy or useful. There may be an overreaction that has caused the issue. Ground yourself and allow your strength to rise from there. Be aware of where the imbalances in your life are at present. I seek and maintain healthy balance in my life. Working with the lunar cycle on a regular basis helps us actually experience the flow and balance of nature. The moon shows us the gradual and peaceful process of waxing and waning in the phases of perfect balance within. Our bodies, our minds, and our human spirit seek balance, yet perfect balance is almost impossible to achieve. Think of this: if we try to stand on one leg and balance ourselves, no matter how good at balancing one is on one leg may be, it's still kind of a dance, is it not? The large and small muscles in our legs adjust to keep us upright, always moving, never perfectly still. The rest of our body is also performing a myriad of adjustments, a little to the right here in the moment, a little to center there. The point is that balance is a process, something we can actively seek if we are wise. We need to know when we are unbalanced so we can return to homeostasis. It is useful to know where our imbalances lie and to make a decision about moving toward a more balanced version. Self-reflection helps identify this. When we are too something, working too long, thinking too fast, eating too much, we need to be honest with ourselves so we can identify this quite easily. Allowing ourselves a more considered and balanced view invites a true peacefulness into our lives, something that many people crave in this incredibly busy and chaotic world. Balance shows us to understand that overwhelm isn't a place we want to visit, let alone set up home in. Companion stone or metal is bloodstone. Okay, so with the sun in Libra here, the scales, that is the sign of balance, shining light on the moon. You might be shown at this time where you are out of balance with yourself or your relationships with others. If you're giving too much, receiving too much, those inequities could be pointed out to you. All right, next, your mystical wisdom oracle. We have gratitude. Be grateful for all you have. And there's children playing at the beach there, building a sandcastle. Beautiful. All right. Gratitude helps you live in peace, love, and joy. Being grateful for the abundance you have received is the best insurance and more good things will continue to come. Grateful people are happier, less stressed, and are more satisfied with their lives. Learn to create abundance in all areas of your life. First, you have to ask what it is that you would like to receive or change in your life. Believe it is possible and let it happen. Be ready to receive. Give thanks to God, the angels, and the universe. Gratitude is a powerful process for shifting your energy and bringing more of what you want into your life. I am grateful for the life's gifts of peace, joy, and love. Right. Again, if you've been giving too much, just think about, and you're wondering, well, where's my blessing? Just observe what you already have and be grateful for all that you have received already. And next to that, we have the shadow, number 28. It's interesting that an eclipse works with the shadow, that the lunar eclipse we have, I guess the Earth's shadow is cast upon the moon. So you could be called to do shadow work at this time, to really dive deep, and you might again be getting clarity. I see how the clouds are surrounding her mind. These clouds may part as light is brought to the subject of a dark area of your life. It might have been something from your childhood with the guiding children here, and something that you learned and resolve about that experience that you can use to help children in the future or the present now, or your own children. So by doing your own shadow work, you're not going to pass that trauma or insecurity or whatever it is you've been suppressing. You're not going to pass that on to your children, to your future generation. Okay, the unspeakable, the unwelcome, the denied. Although every card in this archetype deck has a shadow potential, this card asks us to delve into the qualities of the shadow itself. We often think that the shadow can be purified, illuminated, and made right through effort and achievement. However, it is typically the case that our lofty pursuit of ascension and perfection is the very source of shadow material itself. By rejecting parts of ourselves in the world, we begin to separate from the whole. Rather than getting to know the qualities and content of our shadow, we busy ourselves with avoiding its presence. This is denial. When this card appears, it is time to take inventory of those things you've been denying. When the mind responds with no, anything but that, you are touching the shadow. Find support for this deep inner work and move toward the shadow with patience and compassion, revealing unconscious aspects of the self in the world or denying unconscious aspects of the self in the world. In the shadow of the gods are the very gods themselves. Reflect on this statement by James Hillman in A Blue Fire. What do you despise about yourself? By answering, you move towards shadow. Contemplate the following scientific observation. The closer an object, a person, place, or community is to the light, the longer shadow it casts. All right, we'll see what clarity we can get with some tarot for you. And the other two decks I used the Syrian Starseed Tarot, but I'm going to use the traditional Rider-Waite for this pile. What clarity can I bring to pile 3? What clarity does pile 3 need? And with the gratitude card being right there next to the shadow, it's like, be grateful for that experience. You know, everybody has a shadow. We all have these deep, dark experiences that only we know about, or, you know, that we keep hidden, a part of ourselves. But it makes us who we are. It gives us strength. So we have to remain grateful for it. We wouldn't be where we are today if we hadn't overcome that adversity. Okay. Underneath that deck, we have the Hermit. Okay, this is an old man. I have this old woman here on this balance card. Again, like maybe you might be consulting with your elders. There's a lot of wisdom to be gained there. Spending time with your grandparents. Listen to their stories and experiences. But the Hermit is the card of Virgo. Has to do with solitude, inward reflection, and shadow work. He's carrying the light of the world in his lantern to show the way. For others, he's a guiding light for children, younger people, or people that are ignorant to this subject matter, whatever it is that you are being given a power to lead in, whatever your authority becomes. The people look up to you. You're holding up a lantern for for those who are yet to come, who will follow you. All right, next to that we have the Ten of Swords. This is the end of a cycle. It could be, it came in reverse, you know, it's a big release point, this lunar eclipse. So it's definitely an ending. It's always darkest before the dawn. You have to go through this deep blackness of night before this sun starts to rise, but his head is turned towards the sunrise. Focus on the good that can come out of this situation. Next, we have the Emperor, Aries. Okay, this eclipse is happening in Aries, as I mentioned. Fire, action, authority, taking control of a situation. It's the only way to embrace the power of the situation of the shadow, you know, is by being the one who does the work. You're no longer a victim of your shadow. You don't feel controlled by it. Yet if your emotions may have been out of balance, this is taking control of that by getting to the root of the problem and having like an emotional drainage and emotional unblocking. All right, and Six of Cups. This is literally the card of gratitude, and it's showing up under gratitude. So, and this is also children on the card. Family. This is actually, the card is ruled by the position of the sun in Scorpio, and that's the time frame in the Western zodiac that we're in now. Okay. I mean, be grateful for your parents, even if they were less than ideal. I'm a subscriber to the belief that we choose our parents before we incarnate here, and we may not understand why things were the way they were, but it's like doing the shadow work is going to help us understand and gain that perspective that we lacked as children, that we couldn't possibly conceive as to what was going on or why. But as we get older, we're able to gain this understanding. And then finally we have the Knight of Wands. Action, movement, more fire. And I think a lot of you are taking a past situation and transmuting it with action and ownership. And you're just taking an idea and you're running with it. Whatever you're being called to express. This could be artistic expression or therapy, writing music or dance or visual art. Something to get this message out, to share with people. You're like spreading this light. I mean, this could be very well a lit torch. Just as the hermit carries the star in his lantern, you're carrying and spreading light over the land, bringing about the sunrise for some people who may have suffered under the yoke of their own shadow, showing them the way. Okay. Again, I apologize for my voice. I've been getting over an illness, so thank you for your patience. And we're going to get some more clarifiers with the Lenormand. Okay, we have the woman. Bridge. One more. The compass. Direction. Okay. Here she's looking off into the distance, almost as if waiting for something, in anticipation. Could be daydreaming, holding a vision. But the bridge implies travel. The compass is direction. Maybe some of you are considering changing careers, changing directions. And that comes at a sacrifice, though. It comes with leaving something behind in the Ten of Swords. Actually, get one more card for you. It's like new horizons await. There's a bigger plan for you. The wishing well. Again, with the sun coming through the background. Something like, this has to do with the shadow as well, because the bucket goes down into the darkness. There's no light at the bottom of the well. But there's something, when you haul the bucket up full of water is emotions. You're pulling something up from the shadow, from the depths that's been down there. And it feels so good once it's pulled out. It's like a thorn that's been stuck in your foot for a week. And finally you get it out, and it's such a relief. There might be a lot of crying. There might be a lot of purging. But this is all divinely guided and timed. There's a larger purpose at play here. Being thankful for that experience as it's happening. Okay, we're going to get some Making Magic cards and wrap this up. Some of you might be traveling. Message. Perseverance and motivation to keep going despite the odds. Yeah, don't give up. You're at the end here in the Ten of Swords. You're almost through a situation. Labyrinth. Transition to a higher level of being, raising your energetic vibration. This is crazy. I'm shuffling these cards like mad, but these both, I think, came up for pile one. All right, here we go. Water. Work with the element of water for healing, purification, and refinement. The wishing well coming up here. Again, there might be a purging, a cleansing, a releasing going on. And Dragonfly. You bring light to this world. With the Hermit showing up. Okay, the Dragonfly is all about transformation. It spends like 75% of its life cycle in the water before it actually grows its wings and starts to fly. So there's a lot of shadow work, there's a lot of depth and darkness maybe you've had to navigate thus far, but it's really just preparing you for the next stage of your life, which is the labyrinth, transitioning to a higher level of being, going from water to air, raising your energetic vibration. So you're almost there, pile 3. Don't give up. Good things are coming for you. All right, take this time to rest and release. Take good care of yourself during this moon, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.